This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're, of course, a person. I've been getting into my ears with an ear pick. Have you seen the viral videos where they go into your ears? Well, what if I told you there was a product you could get that synced to your phone and you could go into your own ears and mine all sorts of modern horrors out of those puppies? Put them on a napkin and wonder what it's all for. I'm here with Gianmarco Soresi.
Am I allowed to add on to that? Because my girlfriend loves. We have something like that, and my girlfriend, she really likes like popping pimples and all that sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So she gets in there, and I always get scared she's gonna like go too far. And
she goes in your ears.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
she begs me.
No,
she begs me, please
let me into your ears, please.
She really, like, I don't know what it is. It's a mental illness for sure, but like she just loves it.
See, my lovely wife Sarah also pops pimples. She's getting in there. She's doing the nasty stuff. I wouldn't trust her going in my ear. She'd go too far. She'd break the drum. She'd get in there too deep.
I think you'd have to go pretty far, but there's some episode of Girls where she goes too far with a Q-tip, and I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I think about that a lot.
I'm not. I guess I do like pimple popping. She won't let me pop her pimples because she goes, it'll get scarred or whatever.
But you're a human experiment.
My dad, his half sister. I just have this memory where she liked popping his pimples. This like adults, and he had back knee. Thank God I don't really have back knee. And I remember everyone brace themselves. She popped something on his back, and it was like a noodle. Like a noodle came out, like a noodle of. Yes. Oh. And I remember it so going like, what the fuck just came out of my dad? I didn't know we were that Italian.
He's got pasta. He's got pasta even in his pimples. My dad's so Italian, he's got noodles coming out of his pimples. But anyway, Gianmarco, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Gonna have to bleep the word I just feel that it's so intense the audience can't possibly hear it in the first 10 minutes.
But if you bleep it, they're gonna think I said
and a noodle of came out of my dad's back, weirdly. But Gianmarco, you're obviously on the show today to answer people's questions, to give perfect advice. But what makes you perfect to be on the show to give them that wisdom?
Okay, so my parents are divorced.
Yes.
But not only that, my mom and stepdad got divorced, so I got to witness. I feel like a lot of my life has been was the movie Rashomon. I need to see this movie, given how often I like attribute it to my like point of view on the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
No.
It was like one of the earliest movies where you saw the same story from 4 different people's experiences of it.
A sliding doors Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes. And so like I know what it's like to get one narrative, but know not to trust that narrative fully. And then later hear my mom's version of the narrative, and then my stepfather, and then you're like, oh, so I'm very skeptical.
Yeah.
I trust no one as the authority in any way, shape, or form. And I go, we need all the information. Mm-hmm. And I just think that's what gives me a different kind of advice.
You're allowed to put yourself into other people's shoes to really provide wisdom to the problem.
Yeah, often I'm cynical. I really do think like everyone's bad. In some capacity.
We have that problem on the show often where people call in and I side with them. And I've started to be like, maybe I shouldn't. Because they'll call in and I'm going, well, you're the hero of your own story. And then sometimes it's like, well, maybe you're bullying this girl in your drama class.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, really annoying girls in my class. And I'm like, well, maybe we need to be careful with that.
There's sometimes a thing where, I don't know, some men especially get attributed with being like the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow. But I'm the devil's advocate.
Uh-oh. You're the devil's advocate. Well, wonderful. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. Now, before we even get to the calls, before we even get into that, we're going to have to calibrate your advice in a speed round that we call the Perfect Person Speed Round. This is where we make sure we're on the same page. So that way, when we give advice to people, we know that we're going in there like a buddy cop movie, guns drawn, ready to blast them and blow them away. Are you ready for the speed round?
Yeah.
Perfect slice of pizza.
pineapple. That's it.
Whoa, that's good. No cheese, no onion sauce.
Sure. Cheese, onions, pepperoni, even, but no pineapple and ham. I love pineapple though.
I think that's a great case. Perfect amount of money to spend on a gift for a friend's new girlfriend.
Friend's new girlfriend? You really want to knock it $150? You are
$150.
If you're like if you think it's a good one, new, like how new?
I'm thinking like this is like 2 months.
Oh, 2 months?
$150.
No, 2 months. 2 months. You're getting a candle.
2 months is a candle,
and like the little ones,
the
that
mini,
little,
a
that
little mini,
yeah.
a tea candle.
50.
I think 50 is appropriate. I would even go as far as to say a 20 with a nice note.
Sure, but what are you gonna get for $20 these days?
Good point. What's $20?
Yeah,
nothing. A pen.
Buy her an egg.
Hey, perfect chip flavor.
Salt and vinegar. 100%.
Couldn't agree more. Perfect candle smell.
Ooh, I don't own a lot of candles. I like coconut. Coconut can be. Coconut. I like a unique. I like giving me a smell that makes
candle.
Me go, yeah. I just feel like I remember something smoky and coconut, and I'm like, tropical.
Smoky nut.
But I like most candles. I'm pretty easy with scents.
I want there to be a smell. I want there to be. I walk into a home and I think that, like, to me, a smell is the sort of extra piece of furniture that a room needs.
I'll do quirky though. Like if you got me a peanut butter candle, I'd be like, cool.
Ooh, food I like. I mean, I love a coffee candle is another one I really like.
Coffee candle in the morning.
That's
makes
nice.
you feel awake. Sure.
Don't talk to me till I've had my coffee candle. Perfect way to tell a friend they didn't get the part in your big new movie.
Hey, remember the time you didn't invite me to that dinner?
Oh, well,
even now.
Oh, no way.
I have friends where this could happen potentially.
Yeah, right.
Hey man,
so excited about the new movie. Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun.
Wait
to be
till
on
you hear
set.
the cast.
No way.
Okay, great. No, let's do it. I love it. Yeah. Dude.
I hear this. I saw it with the locations. It's gonna be Maui.
Yeah. We ran into a bit of a hiccup.
Oh my God. Literally.
So
king of hiccups is me.
The producer, I guess
he's not gonna.
They're looking at IMDb numbers.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to drop that producer because we're going on the best trip ever.
Unfortunately, without the producer, there's no movie.
Oh, and so yeah.
I want you for the sequel. I want you to save you for the sequel.
This is actually good
because I feel like if we start with you and me together,
too much.
There's nowhere to go from there.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to have you at the wrap party. You'll get a shirt.
Wow.
And the special, if you wait till the end of the credits, buddy, your name.
Special thanks.
It's going to be in one of those columns.
No way.
Yeah.
I actually feel like saving for the sequel, great technique.
Yeah.
We're going to save you for the next one. That's never going to happen because it's so hard to make movies.
I imagine Adam Sandler has to tell Rob Schneider every time, like, it's just going to be one line again.
That's pretty devastating.
I mean, that's exactly
what you do.
He said, we're going to give you this one line, but.
Yeah. But come on the wrap party. You're going to be at craft service every day hanging.
Yeah.
Hanging. I mean, that is.
And I bet you what happened is Rob was like, give me a lead. He's like, I can't give you a lead. He's like, I can do it. He's like, I know you can do it. You can do it. That's the line. That's how that line came to be.
You can say that line in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's devastating. Perfect salad.
Ooh, perfect salad. I do love a good niçoise salad.
Talk to me about niçoise. I've used the word recently, but don't know what's in it.
Yeah, me neither. But I like. To me, there's an egg, there's a boiled egg, and there's salmon. There's some kind of salmon.
Fish.
I think maybe some kind of vinaigrette. I don't like ranch. I don't like thick cheese type things. So niçoise just feels like
it feels
clean,
elegant,
fresh.
There's something classy about it, even though I have no idea what is in it.
Yeah, sweet green though. I'm going shrumami.
Shrumami, I think, is the best, to be honest.
I get a lot of shrumami salad, a lot of extras loaded up.
Loaded in,
baby.
I
load it up.
You know what it's not? It's definitely not the hummus crunch.
Yeah.
Perfect vacation day.
Perfect vacation day. I'm up, not that late. I'm getting a workout in.
Oh.
And it's like interesting, it's unique to wherever I am, but I'm getting a sweat. And it's hard. I maybe have enough time to have some coffee, then some water and electrolytes, workout, big brunch, brunch.
Big time.
And after that, an adventure, an activity. I don't need to go to a museum. I want something I can only do at that place.
Yeah.
And then explore maybe a little vintage shop. I'm stoned for sure.
Ooh,
Stoned
big
pretty much
edible.
the whole day.
Oh
Big
my God.
edible.
Hell
And then
yeah.
that night, we're not starting too late, and we're drinking gradually. Edible. I do
Another edible.
another edible.
By the way.
Maybe some shrooms.
Ooh,
I'm starting. If I'm
that's
doing
really
a real
good.
day, I'm doing a
Oh.
boys' weekend. I've like 3 really good friends. We
Man.
did a very traditional Joshua Tree last year. We're doing Burlington, Vermont, and like that's
So
the jam.
fun. No, that's a perfect on what you described as
I like one for me a workout. A tough workout lets
start
me
the
feel
day.
to start the day makes me feel like I can really I can really eat. I can pick out. I need that.
Okay, yeah, I see. I agree with the morning workout. I think that's perfect. I do love an activity. I don't want to just hang. I want to
Yes.
go somewhere, and I want to do an activity.
Unfortunately, my boys, they like to hang.
They're hangers.
One of them will not do a thing. But last time we tried to do a hike in Joshua Tree, and we started hiking, and then we noticed like, there's some animal shit, and then we saw like a print, and we Googled like mountain lion signs, and it was like it basically described everything that we had seen for the last 3 minutes. It was like fresh poop, a paw print. If the leaves are kind of pushed to the side, some kind of thing that was like, or it's like if you're 3 guys and it's Tuesday at 4, it's a lion. And
you got spooked. You got spooked out 3 minutes with a mountain lion? You could probably fight off a mountain lion, 3 of you.
We discussed it. I think I could have been faster than at least one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's you running away. Sorry, you're describing you running away while one of your friends gets eaten by a mountain lion.
Running to get help.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll say I love a little hike. I love that. I love taking an edible. Honestly, a travel edible. There's something about a travel edible that really is nice for me. You're taking a plane. You're sort of tucking it into a little special pouch.
Sure.
You know, there's something nice about that.
That's what I do.
That's what I do. Perfect movie.
In theory or an actual? Like a theoretical good movie?
Oh, actual.
An actual.
Theoretical,
I thought you
like
meant
on
like
paper.
I love like someone who wants something.
We
but
open on a character. Act 2 break
we establish
coincides
the world,
with the-
and then a denouement. Oh God, a perfect movie. There's 2 versions of it. One is like I saw Sing Sing.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it. It looks so
Sing
good.
should have won it all. It was astounding and beautiful and meaningful. And then sometimes I just want. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a good comedy.
Oh,
by
man.
God, do I want a good comedy?
What's a perfect comedy to you? Because I agree. I think it's hard.
Game Night was like recent, where like I was like, that's an adult. I like
Easy.
the movie Blockers. It's like Cock Blockers, but it was called Blockers because
Yeah.
Cock.
The parents.
We're like, it's like an adult. It's just not many comedies where I feel like I'm being met as an adult.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Paul Rudd.
Oh, it looks great. Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. Yeah, that looks good. Friendship or something. Yeah,
but just a comedy that's for adults.
Yeah,
you know.
I liked Game Night a lot. I thought that was one of my favorites. You know what I really liked was the Nick Cage one, with Pedro Pascal.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but the one where he plays himself.
Yes,
I need to see that.
I thought that was super funny, and it was surprisingly funny. Like I expected it to be good, but I didn't realize it was like that good. You know? Yeah, I like that a lot. And then finally, our final question: perfect date activity.
I love some of the best dates I have with my girlfriend. We went to this place in Brooklyn where like it's a collage place where the floor has like all these magazines, and this is an early date, so I did think it was like it's therapeutic, and you get to know about the person, and like there's all these magazines and art books, and you just pick it up and you get stoned. And I mean, for me, anything good really does involve being stoned in some capacity.
I do love it.
And then you pick what size paper you want, and like you really saw, like hers was she did a little rectangle, and it was like really clean and beautiful. She's very creative and smart, and it was like about like how the media talks about body image, and it was like really thoughtful. And mine, I had this big piece of paper, and it's going to be about divorce, but I didn't have enough time to like do it all. And it's kind of like I had big grand ambitions, but it didn't really come together at the end.
On an early date with your girlfriend, you made a collage about divorce?
It's not, I didn't set out, but it's just like you're looking at the magazines, and the ones that resonate are a child crying and a lunchbox and a bag. And so it just became like, I was going to do a collage about the difference of your mom's world and your dad's world, and have these two worlds. And it really, I feel like you get to learn something
That's
about your partner
intimate.
like that.
I feel like that's very intimate for an early date. You're like, making art. There's something about making art around another person that really would be vulnerable.
Yeah, we did a lot of those. We did paint and sips.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
So I like that kind of. I'll do a cheesy thing.
I love a
cheesy
cliche
thing.
Oh,
if it
I'm not
means using my hands.
I'm definitely not above any. Like, I feel like I don't poo poo on any activity like that. Like, I like a collage. I like a paint and sip. I like anything that is so nice. Well, hey, you passed the speed round, Gianmarco.
There's a fail.
You could have failed. It would have sounded like this.
You talking to me, Willis?
So
wow,
that would have been the fail.
Incredible.
But Gianmarco, we have to get to the callers because people have called in and they're waiting our call back to receive advice.
Let's do it.
But before we do, if you like the show, then you should consider rating and subscribing it on every single platform, as well as coming to see us on tour. We have tour dates and stuff like that. I'm sure I talked to them at the beginning of the show. Durham is sold out. New York is sold out. There's still tickets available in Boston, Nashville, Atlanta, Durham, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Minneapolis, and of course, Denver, Colorado. So get your tickets. And if you love the show, consider joining us on Patreon, where you get the ad-free extended versions of every show with an exclusive cold open and sometimes bonus calls, as well as new episodes every Friday for the Platinum Show, where we call back people and we get their updates on how the advice changed their lives, Gianmarco.
Incredible.
That's exactly right.
If I steal your cold open Patreon idea, would you be?
Oh, not at all. Take it.
It's incredible.
I think because then that way it's like the episode is the same, but it's just a little bit extra.
I know, because I didn't like the other thing where you cut it off early. I didn't like that. It felt kind of like...
It feels like you're putting it behind a thing instead of being like... And also what I like is when people first join, they can listen to the part they missed. So if you listen to the whole episode and you're like, you know what? I'm going to join. And then it's like you get to listen to that episode, but just the beginning. So it's kind of...
Love it.
Kind of sweet. Take it. But until then, Gianmarco, we've got to help these people.
Let's do it.
Everybody knows that I love cash, aka money. And I like to make sure that my cash is in the right place with the use of Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. See all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all your accounts. Easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track, and see your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going. They send me a little email that's like, hey Miles, you're over budget this month by this amount of percent. Or sometimes they're like, hey Miles, you're actually doing a really good job this month. Keep it up, buddy. I also love that it just gives me a bird's eye view of my subscriptions, because sometimes that can get out of hand when I'm getting too many subscription services to watch one episode and I forget to cancel the free trial and it charges me every month. So I find that that's also very helpful as well. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/perfectperson today. That's rocketmoney.com/perfectperson. rocketmoney.com/perfectperson.
Hi, Miles. I went to my boyfriend's housewarming party this weekend, and I had to step out, and while I was out, there was a bit of drama involving his friends who I just had met for the first time, and when I came back, half of them were gone, and I need to know what happened, mainly, and then I also need to know kind of what to do now that my first time meeting all of his friends, there was a bunch of drama and it's a lot of negative feelings.
Okay, so it seems like the first time she was meeting her boyfriend's friends, they all had a massive falling out, or there was a fight.
Well, it sounds like they were also meeting each other for the first time. He had some friends who had worlds colliding. I mean, we need to hear the circumstances for sure, but there's always a chance. I had a game night once.
Did it go awry?
When I was like in my 20s where it was like different friends from different worlds. And it was a moment where I said, my social life is not what I want it to be. It was like a real recognition of like, oh, this person like wouldn't play the game. This person was being too intense.
Yeah.
And all together seeing it splayed out in front of me all in one go, I said, I got to change some things.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you abandon?
It was a wake up call.
You abandoned those friends?
A lot of them did fade out of my life. I wasn't so Machiavellian about it. Like, okay, you're gone. You're okay for now.
Yeah.
What it is to say is, you sometimes don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know until you get it all together, and you go, oh, that person who we had good times at the bar drinking.
Yeah.
But here in a house.
Not a good environment.
Not a good environment.
I saw some TikTok that pissed me off. It was somebody being like, the number one thing to like ruin a vibe is a game. And like, they're basically talking about this thing. They were like, the way they were putting it, they were like, we're all like getting to know each other and talking about our inner turmoil. And then someone brings out a game and it ruins the night. And it's like, I feel that the ability to not play a game is just as unvulnerable. Like, it's vulnerable to play a game just as it's vulnerable to be like, when I was 10, I was in a car accident and like, whatever.
Is that your first year? Like, yeah. Are we going to talk about each other's childhood trauma?
Let's go. Yeah.
Some people don't want to do games. My co-host of my podcast, my good friend Russell, he does not want to do games.
What?
That's just not his thing. And I can choose to accept that. Yeah. Luckily, my girlfriend down for games. Yeah. We had a game night recently. I think it's called Blood on the Clock Tower. It's a long game, and I remember this feeling of it's the first time my girlfriend had people over because we're in LA. We don't have space in New York.
Yeah.
And like there was like enough time to do maybe one more game, and everyone wanted to. And I think in my mind, my impulse was like, oh, everyone wants to leave by now.
Right.
And I was wrong. And I said, this is what it is. You have some friends who want to do this.
Yeah.
They want to play another game. My boy Russell, if I said one more drink, he's saying yes no matter what. And like but you got to accept it.
Yeah.
And I have accepted that. I do like games. And I've gotten better at just hanging.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the game to me, though, that feeling when everyone wants to stay one more and play one more, that's so beautiful.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. All right, well, we got to call this person back to find out why they didn't have that experience. They actually had a terrible experience. Their life's in shambles. Hello.
Hi.
You called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Gianmarco Soresi, and we are here to solve your problem.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Who is the guest?
Oh, Gianmarco Soresi. Gianmarco, list your credits.
I'm a comedian. I was on CBS's Blue Bloods as reporter number 2.
Oh, and we love him for that.
Oh, that's where I know you from.
Yeah. Season 3.
Gianmarco, what's the fake name for this caller?
Oh, Suzanne.
Okay, Suzanne. Now, from what we understand, you were at your boyfriend's home and things went awry when you were out of the room. Now, my first question is, were you the cause of the awry? Or no, you were not the cause of the drama, but you're wondering how to proceed. Why don't you tell us what happened?
I'm disassociating and slightly high, so give me a second.
Hey, no problem. So are we. Okay, sister.
So this weekend was my boyfriend's housewarming party. And can I get him I need so many fake names. I'm so sorry.
No problem at all. Okay, Suzanne is her, and Gianmarco, who is the boyfriend?
Luke.
Okay, Suzanne and Luke.
Yeah, so I was at Luke's housewarming. I was helping him set up. And everybody was kind of late, so we were kind of getting stuff ready. And we were waiting for people. Everybody was showing up. And involved in this is a couple who showed up really late. And we all kind of knew that they were going to show up late.
The couple's name. The couple's names are Mario and Princess Peach.
This is great because the context of the story is going to make this really interesting. So
we're going to make the other friends Bowser and Goomba.
Exactly.
We're all hanging out and they were all getting drunk and I was getting high and like everybody was just having a great time. And then I needed to leave because I needed to take care of my dog.
Okay.
And by the time I came back, both Mario and Princess Peach were gone. I assumed that they had left because earlier in the day, Peach was talking about how she was sick. She had like a really bad stomach thing and she was just now getting over it and it had been a couple of weeks. So I had assumed it was just her being sick. So we're hanging out and then Luke whispers to me while him and the other couple of friends are there that tell me something later, which I was like, ooh, this is interesting, because we're very open and we communicate really honestly. So I didn't assume it was something that I did. I assumed it was something
right,
like juicy gossip. After everybody leaves, he's like, yeah, so, I need one more fake name.
Oh, Ricardo.
Ricardo, beautiful name.
So Ricardo and Mario were talking. Everybody had been playing King's Cup, and they were kind of drunk, and they were watching anime, and they were talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
This is the funniest party. So hang on. So it's the middle of the day. We're getting lit up.
I love my boyfriend so much because this is my whole, like, I love this is like the party we had.
This is great.
But yeah, so Mario and Ricardo are talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
Mm-hmm.
and Princess Peach had just learned about it. So she gets upset about something that they said. And there's like witnesses to their conversation saying that
what was said. What was said?
I have no idea. 1 second, my dog's barking.
The dog is freaking. Okay.
It would be funny if you stepped out to take care of the dog, and when you got back, I wasn't here anymore.
Yeah, Gianmarco's here and I'm upset.
Okay, so they're arguing about, they're like friendly arguing, and they've been friends for a while. Like Luke and Mario and Ricardo have all been friends for like years. So they all during this party have been like, like taking the shit, like just picking on each other, and it's all very friendly and none of it feels weird. But something was said, and from outside witnesses, it was just a normal conversation about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Princess Peach is pissed. We don't know what was said. And then Princess Peach,
all of a sudden, they're talking about JoJo, and Princess Peach just like flips out of nowhere.
Got it. So she's screaming. She's yelling.
Just like all of a sudden goes, that's not okay to Ricardo.
Sorry. So I got it. So you're gone, and this is
having a conversation, and then Princess Peach gets mad.
Yeah,
and then she tells Mario, "Hey, we have to leave."
Wow, I would be so embarrassed.
And then Ricardo's like a really big hugger. He kind of like tries to give Mario a hug, and they just like end up turning around and leaving.
What did Ricardo say?
What
is Ricardo?
Princess Peach got mad.
What did Ricardo say, though?
Mario is angry at his friend for several years. I'm learning all of this, and I'm like, awesome. I'm glad that the first time I met your friend group was the last time that they were a group of friends.
Right. This is war has sort of brewed, and now the friend group is not the same anymore. I guess really what you need to decide is, whose side are you on? Are you riding with Ricardo? Are you on Mario and Princess Peach's side?
Here's the thing. Princess Peach is like a girlfriend to the friend group, which I also am. So I kind of feel for her in a way that like it could have been some like innocuous comment, right?
How long has Princess Peach been dating Mario?
A couple of years. But
what's your take on this, Gianmarco?
I think you need to get to the bottom of what was said. So I think next time there's a gathering, you bring up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes, that's right.
And then just see where the conversation goes.
Yeah. See if you can stir the pot without, because somebody might stop you. They might be like, actually, we don't want to talk about that right now.
Yeah.
It's a little too raw.
It's hard to imagine what they could have said that would have made Princess Peach justified in this level of anger.
Yeah, to leave a party in the middle of it. I guess everyone's drunk. If we were talking about a TV show, is there anything I could say to you that would make you leave this room right now?
If you said, oh, that kind of looked like you, and it was like, the character was like an animated pile of dog shit, I'd be like, well, we're going to go.
I'm actually going to go.
I'm actually going to go.
I'm actually going to go.
I could be opinionated about certain things. There could be certain things where you're like, oh, that sucked. I'd be like, no, that's actually really good.
Oh my God. That's, by the way, number one way to get under my skin, something I love completely. If someone just shits all over it, I'm like, I might leave. I might be so sensitive about it, So
but from all accounts, everybody loves JoJo.
Yeah, no one was at odds about that.
And also Princess Peach doesn't know the show. It's like weird that she got upset about something about a show that she
What's
doesn't
the something? You got to find out the something.
You got to find out the something.
You're missing the biggest part of this.
My hunch is that I don't know, the person who escalated is in the wrong. Like, unless Ricardo said something completely offensive, it does feel that Princess Peach was sort of like, I'm upset and I have to go right now. I feel like that's a toxic person.
And they were late, and they didn't want to be there in the first place, so they were looking for a reason to get out of there.
No, they're having a bad time. So I would say,
and they don't want to see Mario. They don't want to see Ricardo, because if Ricardo comes down to the car, Ricardo's going to be like, "Hey, is everything okay?" And she's going to have to admit it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And so
I'm so confrontational. I feel that if something like this happened, I would need to discuss it and end it there. I can't leave a party and we've had an awkward encounter and then I'm not like fixing it. I hate that. I feel like people are afraid of confrontation. I can't handle like unsaid, like
leaving a party. No.
Oh, never. Not without going to the bathroom and talking it out for 15 minutes.
And they're all like such good friends, and like from what I was so worried about hanging out with them because they were all like, this is the first time I'm meeting my boyfriend's friends. And like Luke was like, you're gonna love them. And they're all so like communicative and honest. And I have no idea how like I leave the room, I go back and everybody hates each other.
Yeah, did they like Princess Peach? Or is she well liked in the world? Yeah. Do you have Princess Peach's phone number?
No.
Because to me, I feel like your number one thing you need to do is just find out the dirt. That's all I'd be trying to do. And I kind of feel like if you're one of a few girls in this friend group, I think you have every right to be able to text Princess Peach, hey, it was so nice to meet you.
Sorry I had to dip out there and leave you with that sausage fest.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that is how you get the dirt, maybe. It's just being like, so nice to meet you. Sorry I had to leave. Like, you guys were gone before I got back or whatever. Then she might be like, yeah, something crazy happened. And you're like, oh my gosh, oh no, crying emoji. And that's how you get the sauce. That's how you do the stakeout and get to the final verdict.
So I would have to get it from my boyfriend and then just be like, hey, I got your number, and also what happened?
No, I don't even think that's what happened. I think just be like, hey, I got your number, and like, hey, what's up? Really, really nice to hang out with you. Like, you're a girlfriend of this friend group already. I feel like that's reasonable. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry I got to miss you. Really nice to meet you.
Yeah. Sorry I had to deal with my dog.
Girl power, Spice Girls.
Hashtag girl power. Hashtag Spice Girls quote. Link to the Spice Girls IMDb.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's got to be your next step, because you need to find out the dirt and then maybe steer clear a little bit of Princess Peach, but also maybe take down Ricardo. I mean, we need a lot more information before we can tell you to, annihilate either one of them. But thank you so much for calling in, Suzanne. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you. Thank you for calling.
I got to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I have not yet.
It makes no sense. So just dive right in.
All right, I will. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Bye.
Bye.
A lot of characters in that story.
Yeah.
Hard to really suss out what happened.
I would have traded one character for the vital piece of information.
I would have traded, the question mark for Ricardo's character entirely.
Yeah.
Well, Gianmarco, we have got to get to this next caller. Let's hit it.
Hi there. I called last week as well, but I'm still experiencing the same problem. I dropped a fish carcass in the hood of someone's very expensive jacket, and there is now a witch hunt throughout my job, trying to find the culprit of who dropped the fish carcass in the expensive fur coat. And I don't know if I should come forward, because I feel like they're going to make me pay for it, and I don't want to do that, but I also feel bad. Yeah, let me know.
Wow.
Did she say fur coat at the end?
Fur coat, she said. Expensive
with a hood.
Fur with a hood.
I mean, that's a big... I'm seeing a big coat if it has a hood.
Huge coat.
I've never seen a hood fur coat.
That's like an Ewok cosplay or like a Wookiee cosplay, as it were.
So
why was there fish near it? I mean, I have so many more questions.
No, it sounds like she did it as a prank.
You think she pranked it?
It sounds like I'm pretty sure she's saying, I put a fish carcass in the hood of a coat. This is where I was like, where's the more context? Like, did you not like this person? What did they do to you?
I guess I felt like, we're going to need more details for sure.
Hello?
Hello! Oh, Fish Girl. Thank you so much for giving us a call back.
my God.
I am here with Gianmarco Soresi.
Hello.
Hi.
Now, Gianmarco, what is the fake name for this person?
Oh, Flounder.
Flounder. Perfect fish title. Now, Flounder, what is going on with your fish in the coat? But first of all, where do you work?
So I work at a pretty fancy hotel and banquet hall.
I see. I was like, how does fish and a fur coat get near each other?
I love flounder. It was, in fact, a branzino.
Oh, one of my favorite fish. One of the fancy fish of Branzino. So why don't you tell us what happened?
At like mid-January, it was like a huge someone's company holiday party. There was like maybe 217 people there.
Okay.
And we just had like rows of tables and people were like putting their jackets on the back of their chairs and we were serving whole branzinos as one of the courses.
Nice party.
That's a really fancy party. Take down a whole Branzino.
It was very fancy. And I was, clearing tables, walking around. I had maybe like 3 plates in my hand, one of them having a fish carcass on it.
Okay, so you're cleaning up.
You're cleaning up.
I was cleaning up.
What's your job at the place? Are you a server?
Yeah, I'm a server. So I was cleaning up. I had maybe 3 plates in my hand. And it wasn't until I got to the kitchen that I realized I started with a fish carcass on my plate and I ended in the kitchen without one.
Okay. All right. Got it.
So I walk back out into the dining room and that's when I see it. It is sitting, it must have slipped off of the plate I had in my hand and it's sitting in the hood of this expensive looking fur coat on the back of someone's chair.
Oh.
So this fur coat, it had a hood?
Yes, it had a hood. It was red and it was kind of like
Red.
fur lined. So it was only around the hood that it had fur on it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
The fish carcass, can you tell me, are we talking eyeballs, eyes, face, tail?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was eaten. So it was just the skeleton remains.
And the gristle. It was sort of the skeleton and the gristle surrounding. So, but the fish head's there.
Yeah. The fish head wasn't there. It was kind of just like the spine and the tail.
Okay, spine and tail. Okay.
Spine, tail, and guts, as it were.
And guts, yeah.
It looks
there was
gross.
guts involved as well, unfortunately.
Gotcha. And what does the woman look like with the fish coat?
I have no idea. I tried to mend the situation, but I wasn't just going to palm the fish carcass. So I went to go find a tray. And by the time I came back with the said tray to put fish carcass on, the coat and whoever it belonged to was gone.
Oh no.
She took the skeleton with her. Wow. Okay. So now flash forward to today, people have become aware of the fish situation. Yeah. That night ended and you just said, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to try to get away with this, right?
Yeah. I didn't know what else to do. Genuinely.
No,
did not know what else to
I don't know what I would do.
Did you look around for the red coat? Or did you just said out of sight, out of mind, I'm moving on?
She's gone.
There was so much going on. I was just like, hopefully they notice and they just throw it away and they understand. But fast forward to today, there is a witch hunt for whoever dropped the carcass in the hood. And I have not come forward.
When you say witch hunt, how is this information presented to you?
Whoever the coat belongs to must have reached back out to supervisors saying that they cannot get the smell of Branzino out of their coat. And they're very upset about it. So I've gotten maybe 3 emails now. Like at the end of the email is just like, and if you dropped a fish carcass in a guest's hood, please come forward. We would like to know what happened.
Now, are you sure there's no cameras there? Should they really take this to the next level?
If they do, I'm going to play dumb, I think, because...
How? I mean, if they have the smoking gun, if
they have a video of you running back from the kitchen with a tray, looking at the empty chair, going, "Oh, yay!"
And then you're gonna be like, "That's not me, actually." How could you possibly play dumb? But also, this woman I don't know what the possible explanation could be. And also, they clearly are just going to fire you, right? Like, they're asking you to come forward.
Yeah.
I feel, have they fired other people in the past? Like, do you know that that's probably what they would do?
Nothing like this has ever conspired. Like, we've had some bad reviews, but that can be mended.
Fish cannot.
This is a very unique situation, so I don't know what.
That's a Yelp review level bad experience. I don't think I've ever left a Yelp review in my life, but I've also never found a fish carcass in the hood of my fur hoodie.
I mean, by the way, I think I'm a pretty reasonable camper. I would never leave a bad review. I always tip over 20%. But if I came home and there was a fish carcass in my hoodie, I'd be like pretty annoyed. So I do think that this person, like, this witch hunt, you just gotta make sure it doesn't get back to you. I mean, you might want to put a red herring, as it were, into the situation. You could say that like something fucking ballistic happened. There was a mix-up and fish carcasses were actually in a big trough and it went all willy-nilly. I don't know. Plant a story, right? Because these people are out for blood. They're not going to rest. And especially if there's a rich benefactor behind it looking for who put a fish in her coat.
But you hope the company just goes, they pay for the dry cleaning to get the smell out. It depends. Like, do you think this coat was like we're talking about a coat that costs over $1,000?
I think it's extremely expensive. I don't think they would be going to this length if it wasn't.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I know not to get, it's too late. You should have grabbed it right then and there with your hands. I mean, my God.
Looking back, I should have, but I also didn't want to walk past the entire dining room with just a fish carcass in my hand.
Right. You didn't want to be like,
pockets.
I did this. I did this clearly a second ago, and then I realized that it
putting like a red A on my chest off the bat. So I saw it and I thought I could sneakily like slip it onto a tray or something. I thought that would be more professional.
Oh my
God.
God.
The coat was gone.
We've moved past professional a long time ago.
Also, was it just was it slippery? How did this happen?
I can see.
You're like, and it just flops out.
I've been I was a server in like high school, and I remember like a knife almost hit a baby once, and it slid off the plate. Like, these things happen.
A knife hit a baby.
I've been very close. Very close.
Christ.
It was balancing on my wrist too, so I can fully see how it could have slipped off.
I mean, I shattered shit when I was a server. I worked in coffee shops. I like broke plates, and it does happen. But I think that you have to, in this context, do we think that the woman realized the fish was in there when she left, or do we think that she went home, tucked her coat, tucked her coat, went home,
I think she
put it down on a table, and then came back? What the fuck is that? I think
she was on a very important date with a business tycoon, and at the end tried to do a sexy like, well, I'll see you later, and then flung up the hood. It flew out. It hit him in the eye. He started screaming. She said, I swear it wasn't me.
Oh, God. I'm
just imagining him like putting his arm around her and like just getting a handful of fish guts.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of my girlfriend. My girlfriend would be pretty upset.
Yeah, because it's like
also maybe I think they would assume you did it on purpose. That's the problem. Is like maybe they assume that like.
Are there rich, there's clearly rich people that come to your establishment. Are there, what are the types? Are they like fancy business people types? Like, do you think you could figure out who it was to maybe also make yourself feel better that maybe this person deserved it? Maybe
they work for ExxonMobil.
Yeah, maybe this person's like a gas company, they work for Halliburton, and you can be like, actually, it's cool that I did this, right?
Honestly, if I have the opportunity to figure it out, I think I probably should, because that is our demographic. Like, pretty old rich people is our demographic. So I'm sure some of them have some.
I think when you wear fur, you're waiting for like an animal activist.
Yes, it's a statement.
Yeah.
You want to be seen as kind of a villain a little bit.
It's cosmic karma, maybe.
I mean, I kind of feel that if you're sure they don't have cameras, I would deny it forever. But maybe what possible scenario is there someone that's quit recently that used to work there? Is this from 4 days ago?
It happened back in January. They've been hunting for the entire month of February.
They don't have camera footage. You're good.
They're never going to find
All
it.
you have to do not, under any circumstance, make this story public in any way, shape, or form. And you are in the clear.
Yeah, definitely don't call into a podcast where people can listen. No, you know what? Actually, I will say, you have to block it up. You cannot drop anything over the next couple of weeks because you know what they're going to be looking. They're looking out on the floor, going, "Who might drop something? Who's like most likely to have done this?" Let's say you drop a ham, and it goes ham in someone's pocket. Now people are going, "Okay, it's her." Right? It's obviously her.
It's my MO now. That's so crazy.
That's right.
But I think they assume someone did it on purpose because this seems so insane. When we heard your story originally, I said, "Oh, it must be a prank. No one drops a fish carcass into a hood." I think what you need to do, you need to make clear on all the invites going forward, it's going to be hot wherever they're going. No need to bring a jacket.
No need.
Certainly not without a hood.
Certainly not a hood. You know what I'll say, actually, Gianmarco? I think I do have the perfect solution for this. Start sowing the seeds of doubt in that it wasn't a server that did this. Another customer did this as a prank. And you could even say, on that night, it was so weird. I thought I saw someone playing with fish bones. Okay? That's how we begin. And before long, you're sort of framing another customer might have done this as a little prank. Because, is a server really going to put a fish carcass in a hood? No, they have too much to lose. They have way too much to lose. Another customer, another rich billionaire puppeting the barracuda. What was it? The Branzino.
Yeah.
Puppeting the barracuda strings, and they're putting it in other people's hoodies. I think you can frame this on another customer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you need to start bringing back leftover food with your hands whenever you go back in the kitchen. So they go, "Oh, surely if you did this, you would have just picked it up with your hands right then and there."
Yeah.
Exactly. Show them that you're not above that.
No, certainly not.
So if somehow you did this, you would have taken care of it right away.
Easy. You would have taken care of this immediately.
Full handful.
Yeah, you go into work with handfuls of fish. Just be like, I would never leave this behind anywhere.
Never do this.
Yeah, no.
Now,
it would never be me.
Is there someone you work with that can be a backup frame that you don't like?
Oh, for sure.
Well, and tell me about them.
Well, we have a couple bus boys that just get on my nerves.
Is that buff boys or bus boys?
Yes. Bus boys.
Bus boys. Got it. Okay.
They would be the ones that would maybe pull they're young, so maybe they would pull a prank like this. So maybe I could say that in the future, but
interesting.
Sure, they don't need the work.
Yeah.
They don't
right. They don't need the money.
They're eccentric billionaire bus boys that just do this for the love of the game.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for calling in. What was the fake name that we gave you?
Flounder.
Flounder, thank you so much for calling in. Best of luck. I think keep your head low and start starting the rumor that a customer did it. I think that's really going to help you in the long run.
That's perfect. Bye.
Bye. Wow. That's fascinating.
It's really tough, man. When you do something wrong, you got to quickly decide if you want to cop to it because the consequences
oh my God.
are going to build up.
I can't live in a lie like that though. If someone's like, what happened? Did you do this specifically? I think I'd be like, yes, but there were extenuating circumstances you don't understand that were out of my control. I can lie like a white lie. I can't live a lie. I feel like people that have done something horrible, like anyone who's like, oh, I cheated and then it was years and I would die. My blood pressure would be through the roof. I would have a heart attack. I feel it too complicated, too hard.
If the worst thing they do, they call a company meeting and they call everyone in front and go, or they do one-on-one. I've been in that situation. I can hold the line.
Yeah.
I can hold the line. I once, I was at a party in Maryland, high school.
Yeah.
It got busted by the cops. Everyone was drinking, but I wasn't a big drinker. I had a beer.
Yeah.
And they stopped us by the exit of the cul-de-sac or whatever, and they breathalyzed us. The cop said to me, what did you have to drink? And I said, nothing, officer. Because in my mind, I assumed I had a beer a long time ago.
Yeah, it's
probably fine.
Right.
Blew the breathalyzer. He said, what did you have to drink? And I said, nothing, I swear. And he said, okay, you can go. And I said, you son of a bitch.
Oh, you blew a zero and he was...
Yeah, or blew low enough or whatever, but he full on lied to me to try to get me to confess. I stuck by my story, and I just think deny. Oh, which I'm pretty sure is that's like a Trump line. That's a very strictly a Trump
pretty
line.
much what he does.
But guess what? he's president.
That's
So
a really
it
good
works.
point. Unfortunately, it did work for him.
Use it for the good cause.
Okay. All right. Let's take one more call.
Hey, Miles. I found a toy in my boyfriend's bedroom that was modeled after a real person, and I'm not sure if I should bring that up to him. Give me a call back. Thanks. Bye.
I find that to be so, like, I don't know. That's
But
not.
it's got to be if it's a porn star. So
yeah,
okay.
right. So it's got to be.
I owned a fleshlight in high school.
You did?
I did.
How did you? You were in high school. Did you use your father's credit card?
I feel like must have had some kind of, maybe I had a debit card. And I used my Bank of America debit card to buy.
They had a teen one that I used when I was in high school. It was like you can be 16 and have a debit card or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. That's the one I used.
So, and I remember I just got a basic fleshlight. Really, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, there's something so funny about a teenager being like, okay, let me order this fleshlight off of, and it'll get delivered discreetly, and then I'll have that hidden in my room somewhere.
Yeah. Well, hidden. And then one day I was at dinner with like my 3 younger siblings as adults.
Yes.
And one of them, my sisters made some joke about them finding the fleshlight, and then my brother, so all 3 of my siblings, without me knowing, at some point had been in the room and moved the 3 t-shirts I had used to guard my fleshlight. And it was right there. And also my mom and stepdad, they moved while I was in college. So they must have at some point cleared out and gotten the fleshlight.
Packed it into a box. There's something funny where, like, I think that now sex toys are much more normalized. It's like, oh yeah, like we got vibrator. Like as a influencer person, you do an ad for a vibrator. It's a really normal thing to do. There's something about fleshlights that has not hit the mainstream.
I honestly
That's really
think what
funny.
it is, I'll see, you'll see an ad off to the side one. It'll be like, something that moves. It's like, got batteries or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think the bottom line is, I go, what I'm doing is going great. I live in a New York apartment. I'd rather get an air fryer than.
Hey, by the way, that's a good game show. Air fryer or fleshlight, you can only win one.
Well, I mean, you turn a flashlight into a flashlight. Certainly, you could make an air fryer into a, both. You don't want to put in the wrong one.
An air fryer size.
Oh my god!
An air fryer size fleshlight.
I'm just trying to put. If I'm putting myself. If I went in my girlfriend's drawer,
yeah,
and there was the Chalamet. And it was like
Timothy Chalamet.
I mean, it's incredible if his career, like, it would really have to tank for him to go.
What
to this.
an interesting, right after the Oscar, it's Timothy Chalamet.
I mean, after the Oscar, the price, the deal goes way up.
That honestly, I would respect.
It's more likely that Adrian Brody, whose career has been up and down, that he would at some point have been down enough to make.
Yeah.
And if my girlfriend had an Adrian Brody, and it was like, oh, this is Adrian Brody's
penis. Yeah.
I think I'd be okay. I think I'd be like, I didn't know you were such a fan of
Adrian, of the pianist,
his body,
yeah,
and of work, but
and of work.
I don't know if I'd be now if it was like my friend Douglas. First, I think I go to Douglas and I say, I had no idea this was a side business that you had.
It's branded on the bottom, your friend Douglas.
I can see that. He has a lot of friends.
That's interesting. You're right. Like, at what level? Well, we've got to find out more details from her. And also, I mean, if Douglas is selling, we can leave coupon code in the description.
Sure.
Hello.
You called Perfect Person, and I'm here to call you back.
Holy shit.
I'm here with Gianmarco Soresi, and we understand that your boyfriend has a special little something.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to need to have a fake name coming right from Gianmarco. Gianmarco, what's the fake name for this person?
Sherry.
Sherry. Okay, Sherry, why don't you tell us what is going on and what you have found?
Okay, so last Monday, I think it was like last Monday, I was changing in his bedroom. Sorry, oh my God, my heart's beating so fucking fast right now. I'm so sorry.
No worries at all.
Us too.
Us too. I mean, thinking about what your boyfriend's got in his drawer. But thank you so much for hopping on the phone. I appreciate you telling us your story.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I was looking through his drawers because I was trying to find a pair of socks.
Okay.
And he just has like one of those plastic 3-tiered drawers.
Oh, I know him. He's a man of taste, is what you're saying.
They kind of get stuck when you shove them too full and
it's brutal.
Starts breaking
You
apart.
gotta hold it too.
Yeah.
Well, he keeps the socks in the middle drawer, and I couldn't find a match, so I looked in the top drawer, and there was no sock-related items in the top drawer.
Okay.
And so I opened the bottom drawer, and I saw a flashlight, and it said fleshlight girls on it, and I kind of was stunned. I paused for a second and just mouth open, and then immediately went on Google, and I looked up fleshlight girls, and to my surprise, it is a fleshlight that was modeled after a porn star.
Gotcha. Now, okay, but what is the branding? Because it doesn't sound like, is it branded such that he was like, I want that one? Or is it branded such that he was like, I want one, and that was the one?
It's like, I want that one. You pick a girl. I don't know. I don't know which girl the fleshlight was.
So it doesn't have the name. You have to look at it and go like.
I didn't touch it. I didn't want to pick it up and touch it. I just saw the name on it.
You saw. You saw that. Oh, this is so funny. So you saw
I bet I could guess it just based on.
You're such a fan of the arts. Gianmarco, send a picture to Gianmarco. He'll identify. He's a connoisseur of sorts. But got it. So your boyfriend purchased this. How long have you and your boyfriend been together, by the way?
2 years.
2 years. Okay, so kind of a long time for you to not discover the fleshlight.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. I just I don't remember ever having to go through any of other drawer other than the sock drawer.
It was there the whole time waiting for you.
So you're okay with would you be okay that it was just a fleshlight, or are you fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Got it. So you're okay with the idea of him having sort of a tool for his own.
Yeah, we're long distance, so.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. Okay, that actually to me is a little bit. What is the distance? I guess I don't want you to dox yourself. Are you a flight away?
No, in an hour drive.
An hour drive.
Yeah,
okay, cool. But yeah, so it's and how often do you see each other?
Pretty often, but we don't I guess now since we've been together a while, every time we see each other, we don't have sex. We didn't have sex this past weekend.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Sure. Well, he did with the fleshlight.
No, we don't know that. He sort of got a little. Well, I mean, I guess, how do you feel about it? Because you called in needing advice about it. How do you feel about the situation?
I don't know if I want to tell him I saw it. And then I'm a little more, I don't want to know whose.
Yeah, I get that. I think that's a reasonable. It's a very uncanny. I feel like it's a very modern new problem. This is only a problem that's been happening for 5 years or 10 years. It's such a 2000s. It's okay, you can get a device like this that's modeled after a specific person. There is something that I have concerns about it.
Okay, let me defend.
And please defend,
not defend, but let me put an emotional context of per what you said. We live in a new.
It's
world.
very new. Yes.
So I feel like OnlyFans is another thing where it's porn. At least there was this distance of you're watching someone who lives in Vegas or something.
Yeah,
you never see this person, and then OnlyFans introduced this whole new world where it could be someone and they have an OnlyFans, and it's
sure.
I think perhaps I learned that when you know someone. You can't view it as porn. It's different now.
Oh, totally.
So what I'm saying is this if your boyfriend or any boyfriend had a porn star they enjoyed their body of work, this is a new territory of maybe they just don't realize. I understand you like the videos, but it feels like a next level that might be more uncomfortable for you to know of. To see that. And if it makes you feel that way, I think it's new as opposed to it being your boyfriend's obsessed or it's creepy. Right. It's just for him, it might not have the context of this is any different than watching porn.
Totally.
Is that
I think that's reasonable.
Porn.
Yes.
Now, if you found it and you're close and if you have a real close relationship and this is important to you, I do think it's worth mentioning. I saw you have a fleshlight.
I think it's worth it. Yeah, I think that it's worth mentioning as well. I think it is sort of like, it's like, yeah, we live in a new wild world where things are different than his context of having this device is all very new, and I think it's something worth talking about with him. I do have some sort of like, I don't know, I guess my preconceived notion about it is it's like, it's a little personal. It's a little too personal, but I think you're right where it's maybe just like, oh, he's, long distance with his girlfriend. He's looking for a sex toy. This is a sex toy. This is the one that he's chosen to buy. But I think it's worth chatting with him about. How would you feel chatting with him about it, Sherry?
I guess my only thing is like, I have like intrusive thoughts. I definitely want to know who it is. Mm-hmm. And when I find out who it is, I'm going to be comparing myself to them.
Yeah. I think
to be fair, he didn't get the whole body. It's just one very specific realm.
To be fair, yeah, this is oh my God. I will say
it could have been on sale. There also
it could have been on sale. By the way, that's a really good point.
It could have been on sale, and he said, "Whatever, they're all the same to me." And that's, by the way, very possible.
I can't imagine picking and selecting one of these out and being like, "This is the exact specific one." I feel that's so weird and wild.
Imagine being that porn star and they come to you and they say, "Hey, we need to put it on sale. No one's buying." I mean, that's got to be a tough day.
Oh my God, yeah, that would be brutal. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that could have gone on here for your boyfriend. We don't necessarily know the ins and outs. I think it's worth talking. I will say, on terms of the comparing yourself thing, I think that you're validated in feeling that way, but I wouldn't compare yourself to something like this. This is so like its own self-celebration versus you, which are like, you're like a real human person that has an intimate relationship with your boyfriend, right? Like comparing the two is a little bit like apples and oranges, but I get the I want to validate your concern or feeling of,
And I again, there's also a degree where it's like a fleshlight is a fleshlight is a fleshlight. It's not like this person is per se obsessed with whatever it is.
100%.
They just said, "Oh, that's nice," and at the end of the day, it's just a tool. It's not like some ode or some. If they had the full set and there were 3 different of the same person, sure. But one fleshlight, it's just whatever they got.
Seemingly, I mean, yeah. So, what do you think? How do you think you'll bring this up to them, Sherry?
Shit. Well, it's been like a week now, almost.
Yeah, right.
And we're like in the upcoming week, we're going to be in a situation where, we'll be together for multiple days, but it's people, show like timeliness is out the door.
I see.
I think I might just like randomly bring it up when we're drunk someday.
Now, you know what they say, important stuff always bring up randomly when you're drunk. Wait till you're wasted and bring it up then.
Right when you feel the blackout coming, just start the conversation and you'll find out what was said later.
I think that, like, this is one of those things it's like intimate and vulnerable. So you have every right to feel however you want to feel about it. If you're feeling like worried and nervous or insecure or upset, I think all that stuff's normal. Just know that this is a person that you love, that you have this relationship with. And I think it's worth bringing up to them. If only, like we were just talking about things I couldn't keep in. If I found like a custom, vibrator or dildo that was Adrian Brody's face, I would have to bring it up to my loved one. I could not keep that on lock. I would have to bring it up.
I think it'll be chill. Again, my siblings, when we were all older, they joked. I mean, like, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. It's always embarrassing for someone to know your things. But with your partner, my girlfriend found a thing once. I'll be vulnerable.
Oh, please.
Like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what you cut from this or not, but I'll say it. Fuck it. I had some kind of small
device
for the ass.
Yeah.
And
a plug and play, if I may.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 times. And it's one of these things I've moved it between apartments more times than I've used it.
Oh.
But, my girlfriend found it because at a certain point you get too close. It's impossible to hide things.
Yeah, of course.
And, she jokes she wants to use it. I go, no. And that's the end of it. And someday I'm sure per your suggestion, we'll get drunk and I'll say, hey, get that thing out of here. But but yeah, it's just I get embarrassed talking about it.
Totally.
With her,
it's vulnerable.
but that doesn't mean that we can't, and it doesn't mean that like I was like, fuck you for bringing this up.
Of course, yeah. But it's a vulnerable. I think any like this to me, if I had a secret little device like like she says her boyfriend has, and it was brought out to me, it's a very vulnerable because it's a private device. It's like something that you're gonna use by yourself. That's kind of just for you or for your boyfriend. It's just for your boyfriend. It's so vulnerable to talk about. So I think that's also important that as you bring it up, know that whatever he's feeling, he's probably going to be a little embarrassed just because it's a private device.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I was like, I think I'm more worried about like his embarrassment than mine.
Yeah. I mean, I hear that. I think it's still worth bringing it up, but it is like, you want to be cautious of that. You don't want to like blow up his spot.
Yeah. But also like, listen, guys, we all have to normalize the conversation about sex toys for men.
Oh, totally.
I think there's been a degree. I'm not saying anyone has it easier or harder, but like with women, people talk about vibrators. They talk about
it's more. I think it's way more common.
More
to talk
common,
about
probably because you're like,
toys.
God, we need something in here, and so you got to talk about it. But we need some help.
It's a more needed. Yeah, that's right. More men are struggling, going, I need something else. I need some assistance. I can go to the store. But it is. You know what? It's funny. Like I also have like a little kid vulnerability where I'm like, oh, it is talking about male, instruments of pleasure is a lot more rare in my circles than talking about vibrators or dildos or whatever. It's just a different thing.
Even
people are
saying
not
instruments of pleasure makes me want to like just stab myself. It's like
we've got some like teenagers and sex ed energy going on right now.
Instruments of pleasure.
Instruments of pleasure.
I'd rather instruments of torture than whatever that is. Listen, I mean, how old is he?
26.
26.
26.
It's time. You got to talk with your partner, and
That's
it's
right.
Preferably, I'd get high to have this conversation, but that's just me.
That seems to have been your advice on a lot of these.
That's been my advice on all things. Get high.
Yeah, honestly, pop a big edible, and as it's peaking, just sort of go, I found your fleshlight. And then go from there. But how you feeling before we let you go?
Pretty good. I think I have more confidence. I was definitely waiting to talk to you about it.
Oh, that's nice. Well, you have an amazing day, and best of luck with your boyfriend.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Wow, that boyfriend is in for a fun convo. I would be embarrassed. I would be like, I don't know why because I imagine that it's like in my mind, she's worried he's going to go, yeah, I picked that one because that's my favorite one. And I think he's going to go, I don't want to be here anymore.
I think, listen, if you have one fleshlight, I should have said this, but you have one fleshlight.
Yeah.
You probably just got whatever.
Whatever was there.
You got whatever. And
100%.
I know, and again, I haven't bought one since middle school. I haven't bought one since this is kindergarten shit. There's sales and there's all sorts of things. If you have 3 fleshlights, if I'd gone a second fleshlight, that would have been more nuanced and specific and like, oh, I like this about the last one, but I don't like this. If it's one, I really just feel like
I think it's just whatever was there.
It was 90% off this version. Yeah. And he said, oh, I'll get that one.
Someone honestly said that they like got one for a friend as a joke or something like that on this show, I feel. And it's like maybe that his friend was just like, oh yeah, here's the
I love the idea that every man like jokingly, we all jokingly give each other sex toys so we can say that was what it was.
It's such a joke. I hope you have a good time. Well, Gianmarco, we have one final segment, and it's a segment we like to call Get Real. This is a segment where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about each other and ourselves.
Incredible how much higher grade this audio cue is than all the other. This is like stunning.
Thank you. This is not me. I didn't play this. This is just stock.
Is this from your modern dance?
This is from my... Gianmarco, this is, we like to get real on this final segment, but, you're a funny little guy running around doing your shows.
Funny little guy.
Doing stand-up.
That's what a cop would say to me before arresting me.
Hey, funny little guy. Cuff you, shove you against the car. What is something that you are struggling with or working towards in your life right now? This could be like a career thing. It could be a personal goal or whatever. But what's something that you're like working on or working towards?
I mean, it really is about friendship and community. I think I'm a workaholic for sure. And it's worked for me.
Yeah.
You know? And I think I always assumed that work would lead me towards community. When I was an actor, I think I was like, well, I'll be in a play and we'll all be best friends. Or I'll be in a TV show and, you know, the lead and I will get married. But but I think it's very clear that like life doesn't work out that way. You have to work on your own community. And so I'm trying amidst insane travel.
Yeah.
How do I take time out for friends, balancing this desire to be one of the greats with like, you want a life that's worth living. And
completely, yeah.
Dear God, you realize as you meet some of them that like being the greatest is not a fun life, a good life.
No, a lot of those people are not happy. Oh my God. I think about that too. I think that like, I have a kid, I have another baby on the way, right? Like, and so I'm also a workaholic. Like I work insanely hard. I work a lot and I'm very happy where that work has brought me, but I do have all the time. I'm like, okay, today's a day where I could grind it and like try as hard as I can to work on all these different projects. Or today's maybe a day where like I need to lay on the couch and, grow the well of dopamine in my brain so I can perform or do whatever.
Yeah.
And I find that that's the hardest decision to make. It's
is it hard with a kid where like, you could go all my free time outside of work is going to be towards being a good father.
Yeah.
But then also still making time for friends. I always worry if I had a kid.
Yes.
I'd go, well, all free time goes to being to the kid. And then it's like, but then you need to be a human being too.
It's funny. You kind of do it all. I definitely do hang out with my friends less, but I have found that like your priorities change. I think some people are like, okay, I have a kid, my life changes. But I think the thing I wasn't really prepared for is like your life changes because you want the things you want are different.
Yeah.
Like it's like I want at the end of the day to be like, oh, we'll do like bedtime and all this, we'll read stories and that. Like that's not something that I wanted before I had a kid, but now it is something that I want. And then I think it's like, yeah, the kid goes to bed, you go out with your friends. Like I do that stuff less, I think just because you're tired.
Sure.
But you definitely do kind of do it all. I also, and you're similar, you quote unquote work for yourself because you're a touring stand-up, right? Like having that during the day, my son goes to daycare. So during the day, I come in here and I work for myself. Like that's like the craziest dream that I do get to kind of be like, well, today maybe I don't work. Maybe instead I go, I watch a movie in the middle of the day because that's what I need to do to, replenish this never-ending well of energy. But it is kind of like, that the trade-off of time is real, but I just am like, you adjust because of the things that you end up wanting. I want to just run around and we go to a park and he freaks out. It's great.
I want to be an uncle so bad.
Oh, being an uncle, greatest gig ever. Oh my God.
Yeah, just to like be like, okay, because I like kids. I really like if someone brings a baby, I'm like, please, can I hold the baby?
Yeah.
And I want to like have a little more in my life just to feel as if I could. Okay, do I want this
totally
all the time?
I say to people sometimes like whether or not you want to have children of your own, I think it's important that every person is around children somehow.
Yes.
Like, I really do think that's important. And I think that like, not everyone is suited to have kids. Not everyone wants kids. I think that's great. But I think even if you choose to not, like you should find some way in your life to spend time around young kids like that, because I think it enriches your life.
For sure.
Even if you're like, I don't want to raise my own. Like, by the way, it's a shit ton of work. It's a lot of lack of sleep. Like, I get why people don't want kids, but I just think that energy is important to be like, you get to see kids grow up.
Probably
whether
that
you're an
and
uncle
older
or
people. It's like you want to be connected to the stages of life that you will be part of and are part of the world.
Totally.
In New York, it's easy to isolate. In LA, I had a dinner party and someone brought their baby, and it's like
that's great.
I feel more connected with like, oh, that's what the next generation looks like. That's what why people's needs are different than my needs. And
No, I think that's true. Well, Gianmarco, that's the show.
That was delightful.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What are you working on? Where are you going? Coming up? People can come see you on the show.
I'm touring constantly. Just find me on all social medias at Gianmarco Soresi for all the dates. And I got a podcast called The Downside. Love to have you on.
I'd love to come on.
We will figure it out and check that out. And sometimes that goes on tour too. But just watch me online and see me live.
Get out there.
That's my thing.
That's nice. Well, watch.
And I have a new. It's modeled after my own member.
Oh, that's
it's called
beautiful.
Your Friend Gianmarco.
Get Your Friend Gianmarco's exclusive penis.
It's
statue.
on sale. I will pay you to take it off my hands.
It's so sad. So sad. Get Gianmarco's penis and check out Gianmarco everywhere. And if you have a problem you're not quite sure how to solve, just remember that no matter who you are or where you are, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.